Alright, welcome to one of our new segments here at Taraki TV where we address legal issues and problems that are submitted by our viewers. For our first episode, we will be discussing about a concern that is close to everyone's heart. This happened in school. So one of our viewers, or subscribers here at Taraki TV sent us a letter. And the letter contains, of course, we will not mention the names for now of the concerned individuals and the concerned entities or parties, but the gist of the complaints go here. Here goes the gist of the complaints. The subject of the complaint is a grade 6 student studying at a private school in Baguio City. So the one who complained to us is the mother. Accordingly, sometime in February of this year, which is just last month, this grade 6 student was the teacher of this grade 6 student cut her hair. So I'll just read the his hair, sorry. We'll just read the letter as it was written, no? The child's hair was forcibly cut close to the roots without his or our consent by his teacher. Thus, this act of assault and abuse of authority has caused significant emotional distress and public humiliation for the child, a vulnerable child under the teacher's care. Despite the efforts of the parents to address this issue with the school and relevant government agencies, including DepEd, the social welfare, the local social welfare and development office, the parent claims that her concerns were shrugged off and the matter remains unsolved. So today we'll be discussing about one of the common things that we have all experienced when we were still kids. Yeah, dahil medyo makon ko na nga kultap. So remember when we were in elementary, the rule of how many inches the hairline should be from the face. Yeah, so I think this 3 inches, 2 inches. So anyway, in the elementary tayo uso iti kultap, but as the education policies have evolved, we have come to know that actually the Department of Education has now veered away from this culture or practice. But before we deal further on the issue at hand, I would like us to go up higher as we go on the concept of what we call the best interest of the child. The best interest of a child is a concept that is enclosed in the United Nations Convention of the Rights of the Child, which provides that in all actions concerning children, whether undertaken by public or private, social welfare institution, a court of law, administrative authorities, or legislative bodies, the best interests of the child shall be a primary consideration. The concept of the best interest of the child is actually a universal concept that dictates all entities that in all their actions they have to consider what or which actions will be for the best interest of the child. And of course, this concept, this universal concept or this universal principle has actually been adopted in the Philippines through various policy instruments. In the Department of Education, they have what they call the Child Protection Policy. And in the Child Protection Policy, among others, they seek to protect the child against abuse, against violence, and against anything that might affect the development of a child. So when we go now to the issue of whether is it okay for teachers to forcibly cut the hair of students that they think is not in line with school policies or DepEd policies, we should be guided by various issuance by DepEd. Recently, the Department of Education issued a gender-responsive basic education policy. Sabi dito sa gender-responsive basic education policy in GIST, and which was reiterated by various memorandums that can be accessed online. Ang sabi lang naman dito, students who identify themselves as members of or identify themselves as LGBTQAI+ are free to express themselves insofar as they are also allowed to enjoy longer hairstyle or different hairstyle as they see themselves fit, that is in line with the gender role that they would like to ascribe or assign or subscribe themselves to. So if the DepEd allows LGBTQI students to actually freely express themselves, how much more are other students that do not subscribe themselves or do not identify themselves as LGBTQ IA+, no. Moreover, when we go at the issue at hand, no, dahito ubing nga nakultapan ije Baguio City, the parent claimed that due to the incident, the child now experiences anxiety, the child now experiences a lot of negative emotions because she felt as though she was humiliated, which I think was in fact one of the motivation behind why the teacher cut her hair, to serve as an example, for him to serve as an example to other students who do not follow what they call the policy on haircut or on hair styles. Additionally, I would like us to go further, no, on other relevant laws where we actually have, you know, laws protecting children against abuse. If we look at another policy paper that we found online, no, actually the Department of Education Cordillera here in the Cordillera region actually issued a guideline in the development of Learners Discipline Manual way back 2018. Now, whether this administrative order or regional order was repealed or not, I think this would provide a good guideline, no, on how students or on how schools or teachers should look at instances or should look at actions like this, because in the regional office order, although it stated that there is a suggested haircut for boys at least 1 inch above the ear and 3 inches above the collar line, there is a colatilia that violations on attendance, punctuality, uniform, and ID and haircut are not subject to administrative discipline warranting penalty or penalties. In the case at hand, our grade 6 student or pupil was immediately sanctioned by the teacher, by the mere act of the teacher of cutting his hair in front of the class or inside the classroom. We deem to appreciate that as a penalty because that is already an action that seeks to correct or that seeks to provide an example, no, to the violation of the aforementioned haircut policy. Now, we hope that our advice or our discussion gave you a clarification on whether tipagkat ti buok ti estudyante who we see to be violation of the haircut policy is legal or not, or whether this action should continue to persist in the coming years, because right now we see students that are becoming a bit more progressive in terms of expressing themselves, and that we always want the best for our children, especially that what we want for our children is for them to really come out of their shell. And if part of coming out of their shell is expressing themselves through their haircut, as long as they do not violate any other reasonable rules of the Department of Education or any other laws, we would like them to do as they seem fit. So thank you very much for staying with us. And of course, disclaimer, our legal advice is based solely on the narrations that we have received. Our legal advice may vary depending on whether we receive more facts from our viewers. Thank you for staying with us and see you in the next legal problem.